why don't you guys both describe your music background?
Well, let's see. I like a lot of different types of music. I like, I don't know, everything from country to dubstep, I guess.
It's pretty broad.
Yeah,
Okay.
very.
I'd say my roots are mostly classic rock all the way to probably death metal.
Good. Okay, so
Daft Punk's latest.
okay,
album.
so wait, so all three of us have attended concerts together.
Yeah.
What are some cons of going to a concert? Because obviously, there's the obvious pros, like, oh, this band live. What's like the downside to concerts?
High school girls.
And all the people that are like, I don't know, making a racket. You can't hear the vocals hardly.
Getting kicked in the face. The crowd surfers.
Straight teeth.
Yeah.
Straight teeth.
Straight teeth is definitely a downside.
It's always collateral
price.
damage.
Okay, so when you're gonna go to a concert, what makes you interested in buying tickets?
Price.
No, like, you know, like if you're like, oh, this person's coming to town, and so is this person, what makes you decide to even go to a concert?
I suppose how much you like the band.
That would help.
It depends if they're releasing a new CD or they're just coming out, like, just to, like, prep and get ready for one. I don't know. If they're coming back around, I know usually, like, right after, like, probably the second tour around, I'll sometimes see them, just because it'll be cheaper tickets.
Well,
Less
right,
people.
because, like, Say Anything wasn't at Riot Fest, and then now they're going to be in Chicago, like, the day before my birthday. Oh, yeah.
They'd be pretty good to see.
Yeah, they were one of the main people I was looking forward to, and then they were, like, 2 days before.
Well, then there's also Guar, who we missed out on. And then he died.
No, I was at Guar. I was at Guar. Me and Bree were.
Oh, that's right. You guys left early.
Bree and I.
Bree and I. Yeah, we were at Guar. R.I.P. R.I.P.
Alright, what else makes you want to go to a concert? How close the venue is?
Okay.
To where you live?
Yeah, always proximity.
But I would totally go to Riot Fest Denver and Toronto.
Yeah.
Like, I love it that much.
So, like, a festival will bring you from farther away.
Well, I know, like, this last weekend we went to that smaller show for Chudos. Just because it was smaller, it was worth going, like, 3 hours to across, which was kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, it was just out in the country, so it was real nice. Small, low-key.
Yeah, why did they go there versus...
They did it for, like, they did 4 days all around the Midwest. Just to get, like, because that was their core group, because they're from Detroit, which is super cool, so it's, like, hometown roots. And they wanted to do a before they did their big blow-up of the North American tour,
Okay.
which was really cool.
Was that like a marketing scheme? Like, we're going to see how many people come to the small shows so that we can, like, get an idea?
So. Or just for more of the hardcore fans, I would say. Just fans that have been following them throughout the years, because they made a lot of jokes about that.
Because Straight Teeth happened to you at Chiodos, right?
Yeah.
At Riot Fest? Okay. Why do you like Chiodos?
Just all around good melodic band. They just are good in general. It's my brand of music. That's lyrics, everything. Guitars
your
are fast.
flavor.
The flavor
Your
of the
favorite
week.
flavor.
Does your past experience with music make you like them?
Well, I'd say, because my first concert, I actually saw them when they just did that out, All's Well Ends Well. And they were opening for Atreyu, which was super cool. And they were the first band.
Oh my
even
god,
though,
Atreyu. That's
Yeah,
so freshman
way
year of
back.
high
Remember
school.
Avenged Sevenfold Atreyu?
Oh, that was so
Gosh.
good.
That is
Was
so
that
freshman year
all
of
that
high
We
school.
had to,
confetti?
yeah, and we
Elliot
had to
wanted
go
to
to
leave early.
We had to go to work or school the next day, right?
Yep.
Or was that Megadeth?
I think that might have been Megadeth.
Jesus Christ!
We were in the front too. Our ears were blared out from that.
I remember crowd surfing. And being like
pre-calculus.
15 feet from Dave Mustaine during Skin of My Teeth.
And then I caught his wristband at the end, which was super cool. That's another reason to go to concerts too, just to get the free stuff. Like cool
Free
memorabilia. Like Megadeth, we went to that. I caught Dave Mustaine's wristband when he threw it out. Korn, I
And
got
you
the
caught the drumstick from
Real Big Fish.
Real Big Fish when I
Who
went.
got Saliva's drumstick at Summerfest?
Andy.
Andy.
Yeah, he got Salivas. Just things you just won't forget.
Okay, so I actually have a specific question for you.
Holy shit.
Specific
Oh,
to
you're
you.
getting singled out.
How do lyrics captivate you? Is it the truth and relatability behind them? Or is it the style and use of language? For example, I know you're a fan of the language In Time by Pink Floyd. So what lyrical elements drew you into those songs?
I would say that anything that you can tie your life to.
Okay.
So,
So the relatability.
yeah, I mean, and like how it's put together, because you can't just go by relatable, because you could write something and it wouldn't
Yeah.
sound good.
Because I remember,
So-
driving in the car with you, and then Time was on the radio, and then you were like, "Fritter and waste." No one says that.
Who says fritter?
Yeah, yeah.
Or,
So like that
let's
was
see.
totally just like the style of language that they
Mhm.
used.
yeah, I'm trying to think of another good example. The Florence and the Machine, that Dog Days Are Over. It's such a good song because of how the lyrics flow, and it's still saying something.
Okay.
So it's not just Call Me Maybe.
Okay, which brings me to my next question. Okay, and this is just my personal cynicism of record labels. I don't think that they're necessary at all. I view record labels now as like these like corporate celebrity generators.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay? So as consumers of music, would you rather buy something that you know had the backing of a record label, or someone that did it on their own, or it doesn't matter at all?
Well, I shop at Walmart, but I get. I mean, no, this is real. I
Yeah.
shop at Walmart, but I'll also get meat from a farm.
Okay.
All right. So, what kind of music it is, it depends. You're gonna pay more, and you're gonna have to search harder for those independent guys.
Yeah.
And it's easier to just go with what is mass produced or what have you. So,
Okay.
and sometimes you do get a good deal at Walmart, and it's not bad.
Okay.
But
But most of the time you sacrifice the quality of what
Yeah,
you're
I
buying
mean-
because, okay.
You kind of have to.
Kind of have to.
Well, sometimes you have to, just so you can get what you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, like Austin and I talked about this last night in our interview, was like, there's 9 writers on We Can't Stop. That Miley Cyrus song. No, literally
what's-
9 people wrote that song.
And what's there
9
there were
people
six-
wrote that song.
6 writers for the Beyonce song.
Yeah.
Girls Run, whatever.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Freddie Mercury could write Bohemian Rhapsody alone.
Yeah.
So,
But, like, and then, people are like, oh, how did Kesha sell more records than, like, the Beatles or whatever? Like, when they debuted this particular song, accessibility. Like, we have such easy access to music.
well, and there's more
Well, did
people
they count
now.
But
all
then-
the digital compared to then where you can get it instant compared to like you had to go to
Indie
the
radio,
store?
man.
Well, yeah. So, like, so exactly. So, like, just everything is, like, so accessible to us or whatever. But then
Well,
it's
and
like,
aren't there more people nowadays?
Yeah.
There are more people in America
I
than
feel
there
like-
used to
but
be.
still, like,
I feel like
I
the
mean-
commitment factor was more towards the Beatles than Kesha ever was.
Uh,
but I mean, even so, like,
Plus, you
are,
got
is there, like, 6-year-olds, like, that are counted in our population, like, are they buying music? No.
And you gotta remember that old people in the 70s never would have bought the young music. But older people now totally buy younger people music. Like, my mom will
Mhm.
listen to,
Lord.
yeah,
Your
mom
Foster
likes
the
Lord?
People,
Yeah.
and
Lord's
yeah.
good. I listen to that.
Yeah, she's
But-
so good.
But
She's, what,
her
16?
parents would have never bought into that. They weren't buying Ramones CDs and
No, I know.
Supertramp.
No,
so
my grandma and grandpa like hated when my
Rock and
mom
roll came around.
would play like they would be like, turn that shit off, and I mean it was like Led Zeppelin 2, like they they were like, we're not listening to that. But no, my point in saying that is like, like Kesha is like, that song is like pushed on people because like they're made to think that like
which song?
the first one that's like, I
TikTok.
brush my
TikTok,
teeth.
yeah.
Yeah, brush my teeth with, I don't know the name
It
of
got
it.
overplayed. So
Because everyone is made to think that like that's what the music industry, like that's the new thing, and like that's the direction
Well,
that it's going
think
in.
It's
about
kinda
when we
like
were
TV.
kids.
It's
Like-
just like TV.
Yeah.
Because TV just pushes bullshit on you, and it's like, hey,
It's
you're
all,
gonna watch Storage Wars and Pawn Wars and Pawn, whatever.
and my
the hell
dad
else.
totally watches all of
And
that.
everything Alaskan,
Oh.
Alaskan Gold Rush versus the other
I know.
Gold Rush.
And my dad totally watches
The
all of those
deadliest
shows.
catch. The deadliest, the other deadliest catch.
Yeah, but
What
look at it.
Ice Road Truckers? They just push this bullshit on you because
Well,
it's easy to make, and
People are
Even
just gonna watch it in the background anyways too, because they don't
Yeah.
really
They're
care.
tired of
Even-
everything else on TV.
even people that watch The Voice and American Idol, like those are glorified televised talent shows that they're singing karaoke, like what.
What about
And then-
Ellen?
and then-
she just
and then-
dances.
Okay, but
That's all she
that's
does.
different because that's not like trying to find like a music.
Yeah.
Like Ellen's like she's like a media head. She's a
did you
talking
get
head.
Stephen Colbert?
So, since we were talking about the accessibility of music, as I mentioned to you guys before this, Wu-Tang Clan is releasing an album in June, and they're only going to release one physical copy of it. And in order to hear it, you have to go to the museum where it's being released, and you have to like take part in like this listening experience, okay? Because they want to like bring back artistic merit
They could have
to the music, okay? So
they could have
so-
released like 50.
no, their idea being that if you want to see the Mona Lisa, like you have to go to that museum to like see
Well,
it.
why
So
didn't
it's
they
like
do 8 tracks then?
no, because they're trying to bring
Is it a
back
record
like
or is it a CD or what is it?
Just vinyl, right?
I think it's vinyl, yeah. Which I mean, eventually will be mass produced in CD and then download, because it's gonna go to like the highest bidder, and then after that person gets it, after whoever bids the highest, which right now it's at 5 million.
So the pirates.
But
are gonna
then
take
it'll
over
be
it.
released to the public. But until then, you have to experience it as if you would like a piece of art.
Well, what about then?
So
bands?
as fans, like, would you guys do that? Like, for example, if Iggy Pop was like, I'm gonna release this record, but you can only come to this museum to hear it, would you do that?
Depends how close the museum was.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Or
gonna
maybe
like
if they
tour
did a
and like go
tour.
around to like
Then,
different
yeah.
museums.
Well, yeah.
Definitely.
Milwaukee Public one, I'd be going to go see that. That
Yeah.
would actually be kind of cool.
Cause
Full
like
exhibit
That'd be
on
awesome.
the history then
Yeah.
too.
that would be so cool. Cause like have you ever experienced music like that?
No.
Not at a museum, no.
Well, it's just I think it's like the most genius idea. Like I just think that that's so cool.
Bring it to the rave.
Bring it to the rave. Bring it to the rave.
Concert included?
Yeah, that would be.
That'd be kind of cool.
This is a good one. In journalism, I was asking him this before, but so in journalism, one of my biggest pet peeves is when writers make really bold comparisons. Like I mentioned that I read 3 reviews of Arcade Fire's Reflector album
Mm-hmm.
because I have The Suburbs and I think that's a great album. And then so I read these reviews of Reflector before I even listened to it, and then three writers made the comparison of like to the Rolling Stones, and me being a fan of Rolling Stones and Arcade Fire is like, don't ever compare Arcade Fire to Rolling Stones. That's grasping at straws, in my opinion. Like, you're just reaching for something to say. Like, you're reaching for like lines to fill in your 650 word article.
Well, yeah,
So-
you can find something that's a little bit more recent.
Okay,
'Cause
so
comparing them to the old bands.
okay, but so my question is like, if you're a fan and you're reading a review for an artist that you may be interested in, or that you've never heard, that you think you could potentially become interested in, like, is making a comparison at all important? Like, do you think it's like essential to make a comparison to something that's already there?
If you can,
Or is it that's just like a
say-
marketing move to be like, oh, well, if you like the Rolling Stones, you'll definitely like
I
Arcade
think
Fire,
it's more
because
of a
I think that's so
marketing
far reaching.
like,
It's kind of, to me, it'd be like you're trying to sell me the same old shit that already has come on the radio before. I want something new.
Okay.
So to me,
Yeah.
not so much. I'd be like, nah, steer away from that.
Yeah, because when I read that, I was like, okay, but like knowing and being fans of both groups, like they don't sound the same at all. Especially
Nah.
with like their lyrics and like what they're saying, it's like no,
Maybe
not at
it's-
all the same. And then also like I already have Rolling Stones in my catalog, like a shit ton of their music. Like I don't want more of that. Like I want Arcade Fire. I don't want Rolling Stones.
yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
do you think that you guys have and you can each answer this separately or together if you
Nope.
want. But do each of you have like a pretty good solid like appreciation for music? Or do you go for stuff that's catchy? Like We Can't
I'd
Stop.
say we have pretty good appreciation. I mean,
I
we
mean,
got all
I
those
do.
vinyls.
It is catchy. Everything I like is catchy to me. I guess I don't know.
I had
I
beer
mean-
for it.
Yeah. I don't know if it's an appreciation to like Iggy Pop. Right?
What?
I don't know. Like, yeah, I think I have a good solid appreciation for music, but
I mean, like,
Like,
obviously you don't appreciate Miley Cyrus.
no.
Okay.
well, that's because we don't
That
go to her
Wrecking Ball
concerts
song
either.
is pretty good.
Stop, it's not.
Well, I'd say if you buy their like music or like go to their show, it's like appreciating them anyway.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I go to a lot of shows. Like I saw Iggy Pop. That was awesome. Riot Fest 2 years ago. It was a good show. So
You
it's
missed
like
out.
Shut up.
I go as much as I can to appreciate the artist. It just depends on the time, price, and money. So it's like as much as I can do. You know, there's so many bands, so little time.
So,
Yeah.
so I know for me, I'm like, we went to Lord, we went to Young the Giant, but now I'm most looking forward to Riot Fest. What, if any, concerts are you most looking forward to in 2014?
Black Keys probably again with their new album coming out, Turning Blue.
I
That's
would
gonna be a
say
good
that
one.
Against Me.
That would be a good one too. That or Foster the People's another one because their new album was pretty good.
And if AWOL Nation comes around again, I would go see them.
Because I think they're working on a new CD. I think now.
They have a single out. I know that. This Kid's Now, right?
You guys mix
Yep.
it up.
Do you guys have any guilty pleasures? And why are they a guilty pleasure?
Alright, Guilty
Mm.
Pleasure.
There's a couple.
That's not my name. By the Ting Tings.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah. I love that song.
Why is that your guilty pleasure?
I don't know. Just because it's catchy.
It's bad.
It's bad. It's a bad song, but I like it.
It's like literally clapping
Or-
and like, that's not my name.
That's
Right?
the best part, though. It's
Oh, that's
catchy.
fun. It's for listening to when you don't want to put effort into listening to it.
It's kind of like when you had that one country song back when we lived together.
Which one?
All I want to do.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
Sugarland.
Oh god.
It's terrible, but it's easy. It's
Easy lyrics. It's just accessible. Kind of like the bubblegum era of like, what is that? Like the 60s or 50s?
Like
Yeah.
disco?
Well, it's just like catchy
Just
songs.
like-
Like,
oh,
it's
that's
like-
another guilty pleasure.
like
That
commercials.
song by Maxine
Yeah.
Nightingale.
It's just like commercials on TV.
yeah. Something
And
to hum a
it's
bit.
alright.
I don't
Be
know.
happy, don't worry. This is
So-
shit.
Okay, so do you feel like they're so because I'm a person who I like artistical merit in everything that I like. So do you think that like that's overkill? There has to be a buffer where it's like we need mindless entertainment. Like do you okay, so like you know like cuz we mentioned TV earlier, so it's like for me like Breaking Bad and like Walking Dead and Mad Men are like
Alright.
so in depth that like,
more, like,
do we
thinking.
need
Alright,
shows
yeah.
like Keeping Up with the Kardashians to just like
So-
not even think for a while?
Yeah, so when I listen to something like that, you know, really intense or what have you,
So like Velvet Underground.
yeah, you don't want people to talk over it, just like Breaking Bad. I couldn't have people talking to me because I'm paying attention to it.
That's like someone screaming like "playtime" halfway through like the wall or something.
Oh,
But
I
I
hate when
can,
people
like-
do that.
I can watch Ice Road Truckers and talk to you and not really care about what's going on Ice Road Truckers, you know?
So like
It's not like a conversational piece, really. It's just I'm done with my day. I don't want to think anymore. In through one ear, out the other.
so it's literally like a mindless buffer.
Filling time.
Yeah, it's just fluff.
But the fluff essentially sells more and technically does better than the artistical merit.
I got more.
Yeah. Because we have more mindless idiot people
That's right.
and
You're everywhere.
do you guys think that music music of like more modern times, I guess. So I don't want to say nowadays, but music today should like reflect or like have some type of like nod to music from before?
Not so much. I
Like
mean,
do you think it should constantly be like fresh and keep up with trends in society?
not really trends, just like reflect of what society's giving off at this moment. Because if you look at back at music from before, like Rolling Stones and all that, it was like more like Vietnam era and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And a lot of it reflected like the era and the society and the way it was.
And like Lupe will talk about what's going on now.
Okay.
So
I'm assuming you mean Lupe Fiasco.
no.
You gotta say it for the camera.
Mr. Fiasco.
Okay.
yeah. yeah.
What do you guys specifically look for in new music? Because like obviously
I don't know, whatever they're playing on 102.1 is usually pretty good.
yeah, okay.
I suppose it's catchy because nothing will ever seem as deep as it used to. You know, older music always seems so much less cliche, I guess, and so much more.
Why do you think that?
I don't know. It's just
Why do you think that is?
we're
Do you
running
think
out of
it's-
ideas.
Okay, do you think it's we're running out of ideas? Or do you think it's because there's a lack of a motivation to create because everything is just so mass produced all the time?
Could be, and everybody's got to try to make it as quick and easy as catchy as possible. But
Well, look at Jack White. He's already making the fastest album ever made because he wants it to be instant to like show that point, and that's kind of creative. That's something new.
Yeah.
I mean, that's way different than
It's
what
like that's
someone
that's
would've
why I
done.
like the Wu-Tang thing. Like who the hell has ever done that? In all of music, like who's ever been like, you're gonna come experience our music as you would like an art like a painting. Like that's so cool.
Yeah.
What is it, Jack White? Isn't he gonna show his off? I think.
Mhm.
Like you can watch him do the whole thing. He's gonna like videotape the whole thing of making a whole record, and then basically then let it out right away, and then just do like a whole, I think like a tour right at that point. Is what his plan was.
Oh. Because I know he's going to be at the rave on July 21st, but it's already sold out.
Yeah, quick too.
I think I asked you everything that I wanted to ask, plus a little bit more.
You sure?
Yeah, I didn't want it to be that long. Kind of got off to a rough start, though.